Hey loves, I don't know if we have, I think I see Jessie here. So there's something going on with YouTube is duplicating my live broadcast right now. So I'm going to see if I can delete one. I don't know what's going on. It's showing that I'm doing 2 different lives at once. I don't know how it's doing that. Let me see if there's a way I can view it. It looks like I might be live in 2 different places. Let me see if there's something that I can do to tell if I am. Let me turn on my layer mask and see if that shows up in both videos. Okay, so one of them is not actually live then. So let me see. So I think it's the one that says quick tips is the one that I'm on. So let me see if I see something coming through as far as a message. See 11 people viewing. It looks like it's going on both sides. I don't know how it's doing this right now, but hopefully no one's really upset because they're on the wrong view or what. But hey, we'll keep it going, I guess. And at the very least, I think I have this backed up and it will be recorded. All right, and I'm finally seeing the button. It didn't have the button to start or end the stream now, so I'm finally seeing that. I hope that's a good sign. It looks like YouTube is kind of glitching right now. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and proceed, and hopefully I'll get a little feedback on whether you all can hear me and see what I'm doing so that we can get through this tutorial, especially since y'all are staying up late with me. All right, so I want to go ahead and give you the premise of this template. It has a the background layer. Even though it's teal, you can color it. So I'm going to go into the background area and we'll play with that. Play with that just a little bit. And I want to show you that there is a, this is technically a collage, but I have not cut out each individual photo. Now, remember in another session, or this might have been in our Academy course, that I was telling you that sometimes I don't actually cut the photos out. Sometimes I just use my brush and a layer mask, and I just kind of strategically clear out around it so that it looks like it seamlessly goes into the next image. And that's what I've done for this one, rather than try to cut out the images, because a lot of the images were cropped off like near the head or something like that. When you end up with those issues, just fade the images off and then they look like they seamlessly kind of flow together. All right, so I'm going to show you the different, this one was put together as a collage. We're going to just pull in a single image and I'll show you the same deal here. And I'm just going through my photos that you all submitted. And some of these photos are so cute. All right, so we'll take this one from the Always and Forever, and we'll make this a nice little kind of a pop art look to it. So before I bring any photo in, I make sure that I'm selecting at least one of my photos, so that when I bring my photos over, they will go right on top of whatever existing photo. So I'm literally pulling it from my folder, and I'm going to drop it like it's hot right here on top of my existing photos. And I'll make this a little bit bigger. And then I have to hit enter to lock in my transformation. Now, once I bring in my new photo, I need to take the visibility off or turn the eyeball off of my other photos. And you'll notice I have a nice little glitter background back here. So you don't have to fill this entire image up. If I pull the image down below one of the existing images, then that image crops inside of, if you can see, it's not going to go outside of that gold area. If I pull it outside of, where did it go? Went to the bottom. Let me undo that. If I pull it outside of this crop area, and then I right click and I tell it to release the clipping mask, now you see that it's no longer constricted or restricted just to that gold area. So what I'm going to do, I'm probably going to put it here and then move this little gold piece here. Oh, that's a flare. I'm going to move my little glitter accents. Control T allows me to transform it. And as a matter of fact, let me do Control T. I can flip it horizontal and it'll flip it onto the other side. And I'm going to, because I can't do that to the photo. If I flip the photo horizontal, what'll happen is Dickies will be reversed. So I'm trying to see if I like it the other way. Control T. And I'll flip it horizontal again. And I'm just going to use them as design elements. And then I'm going to cut this part here and then move it separately. So you all will have this as separate little pieces. Control X. Let me rasterize it first. Control X and then Control V. So Control X cuts it, Control V is going to paste it, and then I'm just going to move it around. I'm going to put it down here. Control T to transform it. I'm going to rotate it a little bit. I like that gold look. Okay. And then one of these flares is a little too close to her face. So I'm going to move that particular flare. I'm going to right click. See where it says flares and bling. I'm going to choose that one particular flare and I'm going to bring it up here so it won't be right in her face. All right. Now the other thing is you probably want to change the text. So that was simple. Just changing out the photo was really simple. If you want to change the text, let's go here to the text. And I'm going to duplicate this group so I can keep the always and forever. And then maybe this one will say, always fly. It doesn't have to be like a birthday or anything. You can just, you know, we put images on our shirts all the time. Why not let it be yourself or someone that you know and they're technically modeling for your fashion or for their fashion. And I'm just centering this. I'm using my guides here to tell me if that's centered. And let's say if I want to go with this Dickies kind of navy blue works well. But let's see how we can change the color of this background. That would be the very last thing to do. Pretty simple so far. All right, so I'm going to go down to my background layer, which is the teal marble color here, and I have a Hue Saturation layer that's on here, and this kind of changed it to like a rose pink color, so I may want to keep that one, right click and duplicate it again, and this time I'm going to change it to something different. Now I can change it by the master level, but it would take away my golds and change my golds too. So what I decided to do was just change the cyans and the blues. So if I select cyan here, I can move these colors. Well, right now I'm just moving the saturation. Let me move the hue to show you how I can change the colors. So let's say we want to do almost like that denim dark blue. I'm going to go to my blue. I'm going to pull the saturation down if I want more of a grayish blue, and I'll bring the saturation up if I wanted a brighter blue. But in this case, I think I'm going to go with more of that subdued kind of dark blue. So I'm pulling the saturation down towards the grays. Now I can also make it a little bit darker by, instead of going towards the light, I can bring it down towards the dark. And this is a really pretty like cobalt blue right now. But I still want it to be more of that, you know, kind of that Dickies work uniform kind of grayish blue right there. And I think I'm getting sort of close. If I bring it too dark, I'm getting a little too navy, and it's not quite navy. I think that does it right about there. Excuse me. So that's it. All you have to do on this hue here is to change the cyan. So I'm going to put cyan only. So you'll know, just change cyan. Leave the other ones alone. Now, if you want to change the other ones to see if they do have any effect on your color, then go to your reds. And if you pull the saturation all the way down, you'll see whether those reds affect it. I like to pull my saturation all the way up and see how well it adjusts. And that'll tell me whether I need to pull it down or leave it alone. Yellows, of course you have yellows in the gold. I'm going to leave the yellows alone because I like how the gold pops through. My greens, I can pull the greens all the way down and pull them all the way up. You see there's a little bit of green in that glitter. So I'm going to leave my greens alone. The cyans, of course, that's what we edited before. And then they're blue. So how do you know if something is cyan or blue? There are instances of blue in this graphic. If you see very little bit of blue down there at the bottom, when I push it all the way to the highest saturation, you see it kind of appear down here. And I just want to cancel that out. I bring the saturation all the way down to 0 if I think it's a color that's going to give me problems. Okay, and that's it. That switch out was probably the easiest switch out that we've done yet. And more than likely it's because all you want to focus on is changing out a photo. If you're going to do multiple photos, of course, you can bring those in. And we can change the colors of the text here. So for always, instead of black, let's go ahead and go with our dark blue color. So I'm going to double click on the effects for always. Go to the color overlay. Right now it's black. But once I click on the color swatch, I can come over here. I can hover over my artboard. And I can pick colors from my artwork. So I'm going to pick this dark blue here. Maybe that blue there looks really good. And if I want the exact same color, I can take this hex code and copy it. And then now when I go to my fly, I'm going to right click, choose fly, double click on the FX, go to my color overlay. And instead of the black, which is all zeros, I'm going to Control V to paste. Or you could have just right clicked and pasted your hex code. And now that blue is our main color. And it's just that simple. So let me know what you all think. If there's anything that you want to see different on this one. Ah, yes. If you did a denim and diamond, that's a great question, Sharon. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and change it. You remember how I told you we could take the yellows and change the yellows? Let's show you how to do that. So let's call this one, let's call it navy and gold. And then get this, all I have to do is duplicate. I'm going to duplicate that layer. Okay. And then I'm going to turn off the existing layer that we had with the navy and the gold. And now I'm going to go into my hue saturation for this new one. And I'm going to tell it that for my yellows, I want to go to the yellow layer, or to the yellow colors, the yellow hue. And I can change my yellow. If I want to make it silver, I just bring the saturation down. You see that? Saturation up, saturation down. Now it's silver. That easy. Now we can do the same thing to the glitter elsewhere. So let's go to all the rest of the glitter. So I have this glitter background on here right now. And I forgot, you can actually turn this off and you can let this be a paint splash too. So you can turn off the glitter. You can let the paint splash be whatever color you want it to be. If you wanted it to be white, right now it has a color overlay of a teal. I can just turn that off and let it be white. And I'm trying to see what I was doing with this one. I think I only need one of these. Okay, so I can leave the white there so it has something really, you know, stark to pop the image out against. But let's say we like the silver. We like the gold. It's not really gold. It's silver with a gold overlay. So now I can activate the silver by deactivating this color fill here. And the blend mode on this, in case you're wondering, if you have glitter that you're trying to change the color of, I did an overlay. So I did a color and then I changed the blend mode to overlay, and it allows the shine of the glitter to come through while you're recoloring it. So you got it in Photoshop, you have to play with those blend modes. They are going to be your friends. So let me turn it off so we can have a little silver there. And then let's say I want my frame. So I have the frame as gold right now. So let's go ahead and make that not so gold. I'm going to take my frame with my glitter pieces and group those so I can just do one effect. So I just did Control G to group them. And let's do a Hue Saturation adjustment layer. So layer, new adjustment layer. Let's do Hue Saturation. And I'm not going to do previous layer to create clip and mask. I'm going to clip it to this folder myself. So I'm going to right click and create a clipping mask. That way it clips it to just this group. Otherwise, whatever I do to this will affect everything below it. So I'm going to click right here on the Hue Saturation. Now, I can bring this down on the master level because I know that this is just pretty much one color, which is, you know, gold. And if I'm bringing it down to silver, I can turn this on the master level, the saturation down. Same thing if you're recoloring this, you know, it's a different glitter. So let's say you want to do a blue glitter or purple glitter. You can do so here with the overall, this is me changing the master color, and it changes everything accordingly. Okay, so in this case, if we want to do a silver, then all we have to do is bring the saturation all the way down to 0. And it doesn't matter what our hue is. Saturation means that there's no tint of color, right? So when we have 0 saturation, that means there's no tint of color. When we have 100% saturation, that means it's all color. So we bring it down to 0, we have silver. Now let's say you mentioned doing diamonds. Let's see if we can find some diamonds. Let's see. And I'll probably end up having to make it a little bit of a different template, because when I put too many layers in there, these files get huge. So a lot of times when y'all are giving me extra ideas, I'll make it an alternative template just so that you can have one or the other. So let's see if I do some diamonds. Let me see if I can find some good stock images. Ooh. Let me see if I can do PNG. So I don't have backgrounds, but if I have backgrounds, and it's just what I have to deal with. Ugh. This PNG market has definitely gotten so poor. It's ridiculous. Now, what I like to do before I do stock art, I like to download what they call the composition of it. So I'm going to download the comp. I forget y'all can't see what I'm doing on this other screen here. And it's going to have like the watermarks on there, but it'll let me know whether this is the art that I want, if this is the art for me. Now it looks like I'm gonna have to do a lot of cleaning up around these diamonds and stuff, but this looks like a really pretty, like great diamonds to play with. And then we can kind of throw these around the bottom, or we could even find set diamonds to put around the frame. And I think I have something for that. Let's see. So I will be saving that one as a different template because it's going to take a little more work for that one. So let me save this one. And then I will take your suggestion there. Let's see. Let me see if I can pull up these diamonds. PNG. And I'm going to just check to see if Remove BG can remove the background from these. We'll test it out and see. And I'm just literally pulling this image right from my folder, dropping it on Remove BG. Ew. Well, it doesn't do such a great job. It probably does a little bit better. And plus all the flares. So basically what I would have to do is recreate all of the flares. So let me see if I can just find some PNG diamonds. Because that's a lot of work. But it's worth it. I mean, it looks like it would really enhance the design. But I'm sure there's some PNG diamonds that already exist that will probably do exactly what I need it to do. And I'm sure there are also, y'all know how the search goes. When you're searching for stuff and it's not really a PNG and it's just trying to mess out of you that day. So let's see what these look like. I'm also going to go ahead and change my size to large. See if I can find some large images. This might actually be a PNG. Hold up, wait a minute. Well, see, it's not that clean cut either. But I think for the purpose, it will work for that purpose of what we need it for. Alright, so let's right click. I never just download this with this checkerboard. I right click, I go open image in a new tab. And when it opens in a new tab, if it still has checkerboard, it's not a PNG, sis. I'm telling y'all. So right now, when it shows up with a black or white background, and it's not exactly clean. Y'all see this. Y'all see these little rough edges, which is how Remove BG was kind of doing it. However, when we have it up against all of the glitter and everything, you're not going to be able to see that, but I'm just letting you know that's what it is. And even if we are to clean it up, unless we really take our time and use the pen tool and clean up each of those diamonds, we're probably going to have the same kind of outcome. And this one's saying it's a PNG, but I feel like that's a lie already. I know this is not a PNG. I can see a gray background on this. So y'all just be careful. A lot of these things are saying they're PNGs. They're not. I don't know, what the hustle is to get people to download non-PNG graphics these days. Like, maybe they're getting traffic to the website and that's how they're getting paid. So they're luring people calling these PNGs, but obviously they're not. All right, so let's go ahead and pull these in. That way, I might be able to just keep this a single template and not have to split it up. And right now I'm just kind of sizing them. I did Control T. I'm just sizing them to see how they kind of fit into the design, where I might want them to go. Let me delete this other one I don't need. And yeah, against the silver and gold, you won't be able to see. You won't be able to see that at all. Now what I may do, let's turn the gold on just for a second so that we can see it up against the silver. And maybe even with the diamonds and denim, you might want a little silver and gold. I'm just playing with placement right now. So let's take one. And let's just call those diamond. We'll call it diamond 1. And then when we create a copy of it, maybe we'll put some up here. And maybe we'll break them up so they don't look exactly the same, like the same thing repeating. And the way we'll do that is grab our lasso tool. This is our polygon lasso. And let's separate the separated ones. Let's do Control X to cut them out. Oh, I need to rasterize them so that it is not a smart object anymore. So let's Control X and then Control V. So now I have my individuals, and then I have my little cluster here. And maybe I'll put the cluster there. Move this one. Come on, little diamonds. And I think the always and forever goes well with the diamonds too, because it signifies the anniversary, engagement, wedding, all of that good stuff. So I think it's very fitting. And then what I may do is take all of the diamonds and add a little drop shadow to them, which I think they're naturally getting a drop shadow right now. Yeah. You see how they have a drop shadow just because my frame has a drop shadow? So that works out perfect. Now this one is going to be called Diamond 3. So I have a Diamond 1, Diamond 2, and Diamond 3. And if you want more or less diamonds, you can either turn them off if you want less, or you can duplicate them and move them around if you want more. I'm trying to get something that kind of balances off that gold a little bit. I think that works. All right. So if I want to, I can also bring the image above the gold frame, but I have to make sure that it's right. You see that double line that is forming, that double blue line? It let me know that it was on its own independent layer. So I think I'm going to do that because I want her bun in front of the gold there. I want her to look like she's kind of standing out from the frame. And then I still have these little flares I can move around. Move that one so you can make something look like it's blinging. Let's bring those flares in, maybe even on top of the diamonds. And there we have it. So let me check back in with y'all, see if y'all can, if y'all are even still with me, or YouTube just made us completely drop off. All right, I'm glad you like them, Victoria. Sharon, what do you think? Is it something like what you had in mind to make it all silver and blue? And we'll switch it back. So now we had our blue and gold. We still have some silver in there. We can bring it all gold. Still has the diamonds there. And as a matter of fact, let me do something a little extra with these diamonds. Let me take the diamonds. I'm going to put them in their own group. Diamond group. Now let's throw a little extra shadow on them. Let's do a drop shadow, but we're going to make this drop shadow a little bit, yeah, make it pop. So let's bring the spread and the size. We can play with it. If you ever want to know what something does, just play with it. Bring the distance down a little bit. And you can tell these stones aren't completely clean because the shadow is kind of going outside of the shape a little bit, and that usually is an indicator that the PNG is not a clean file. So normally you would want to like clean that up if you did want to put like a really strong shadow. But I think that works. It makes the diamonds kind of pop a little bit more. And I might even turn these that way, because I'm looking at that little drop shadow coming from. I'm trying to see which way I want them to go. Zoom in a little bit too. It's going to go more this way. And I may, if I have some time, I know I'm trying to get these things uploaded, I may either clean these diamonds up or replace them, depending if I find some better PNGs. I'm just kind of doing this on the spot for y'all. And I want to show you that this is what you can do on the spot too. Just don't tell on yourself. If you felt like the diamonds weren't cut out that well, just pull them in, use them. And if somebody says, "Ooh, I don't like," let them tell you. Sometimes we're way too harsh on ourselves. But I think that will work out just fine for this design. And if I really, really, really wanted it to be perfect, then I would basically hand cut my own diamonds, because it is very hard to actually cut diamonds from a background, because the diamonds take on the background. That's why they're, translucent. So you literally have to cut out each diamond with the pen tool to ensure that you're going to get a really clean, nice cut. All right, so I think that's it for this one. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that y'all might want to see with this template. I'll take a screenshot of it. Oh, let's show you how to bring it down to a 13 by 19 size. So in order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and turn off my guides. And I'm going to go ahead and save a snapshot of this one at 500 pixels. So don't be giving folks your large format files. Make sure you save things at small pixels, so that even if they try to replicate it and take it to somebody else to do it, it will be extremely difficult to do that. And as a matter of fact, let me change I think I liked it better when this one, the glitter was silver in the background, then gold on top. So I'm going to save that as an export. And then you'll be able to go back to the video to figure out how to bring that gold to silver as well. I'm saving that variation. And now we're going to save it as a 13 by 19. So let's say you're doing a project. Maybe the birthday girl is getting the all over shirt and everybody else is getting the 13 by 19 prints. Okay, so if that's the case, then you want to go ahead and design the all over shirt first, get to wherever your final point is, and you want to save. So we just did Control S, we're saving right now. Give it a little time, let it save. But let's say I know for sure this is my final design. Then I'm going to, after I did save, I'm going to go to File, and no longer will I be able to save because it's already saved. I'm going to go to Save As. And what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to take the word all over off of this one, so I know it's my 13 by 19 design, but you can name it however your naming system works. Alright, so I just did a save as. So now it's its own version. I'm not messing with the all over anymore. So now I'm going to start my conversion process. All of your newer all over prints are going to have a layer mask on them. So I'm going to activate that layer mask. And automatically it takes it down to, to this mask kind of faded off look. So I'm going to decide whether I want it to pop out or stay within. And I think I like it like that. I'm going to hit enter to lock that in. And let's say if I wanted more of the marble in the background, then I would make it bigger. Maybe I will make it a little bit bigger so I can get more of the marble in there. Okay, so now I'm going to use my crop tool. And when I go to my crop tool, it's going to give you an option at the top. Normally it's going to be blank up here for the ratio. So I'm going to hit clear and I'm going to go to it just like you would see it. And I did not mean to lock that in. I meant to hit escape. So let's Control Z. Let's undo that. Go to our crop tool and here you see it's empty. So I'm going to type in 13 and then 19. And you see it's going to give me a 13 by 19 ratio. Doesn't mean that this is a 13 by 19 size. And I'm going to bring it in. I don't want to get too close to the edges of my art because I want to make sure that I have some good area where my print is not going to abruptly cut off, especially with the faded look. Because the whole point of us fading off these edges is to give it a very natural look. If we're going to have hard lines, we might as well have just printed it on, opaque transfer paper. So we want to show off sublimation and how well we can get away with full colors, even though we have to do a white, white shirt. So I'm hitting enter now. And make sure that it does not have delete crop pixels activated. Okay, if it has that on there, then you may delete something that you may actually want to resize later. Okay, and speaking of that, I'm going to resize my background a little bit because for the all over, I got a lot of the details. So I'm going to hit Control T and see how big my my art is back there. I'm going to bring it down a little bit so I get a little more of those details in the marble there. There we go. I'll hit enter. And I'm going to hit Control 0 just so I can zoom into the artboard and give it my final look. Sometimes when I'm doing 13 by 19, I have to adjust the orientation. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll do File, and I'm going to export a screenshot or basically a low resolution file. And y'all don't ever see this because it pops up on my other screen, but this is what it looks like. And I do 500 in the tallest dimension, just so we can kind of save a preview. And then I actually have to change the size of this, because if we go to our image size, when we look at it, it's not really 13 by 19. It's actually almost 19 or 20 by 30. So we want to change this to 13. And it will automatically change the height because it's going to change the proportion. It's still at 150 dpi. That's cool for us. Again, Control 0 so we can zoom in. And everything still looks good. What I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to transition it now back to the wedding photo and make sure that everything still translates well. So I'll take off this copy that says Always Fly, Always Forever. Still looks good, but it's not lined up. I want to change the always and forever, the text. And I want to just move that. And you can tell if you do Control T to a group or something, you see how I have this little center point here? That's my center of my text, which is a little off balance because I have this and kind of weighting down the left side. So you kind of have to place it more visually than the technical center there. All right, so that looks good. Let's go ahead and turn off this photo and turn back on our love images. And here we have a little bit of a discrepancy in where the diamonds and stuff should go, because now it's covering up one of the photos. So we may take these diamonds and just turn them off. And then of course we moved around the glitter too, so those glitter accents. I'm going to go ahead and separate this glitter accent from this one so we can move them independently. Then I have to go back and do that on the big one, which I should have checked that out before I turned it into the 13 by 19. Let's go ahead and rasterize that layer. Control X, Control V, so I just did a copy and paste. And I'm going to keep that little stroke right there. Control T, I'll turn it just a little bit. And then this one here, I'll just turn it off. And where did my other diamonds go? Let's do Control T on the diamonds 3. Let's just make them a little smaller and just move them a little bit. Okay, and then I'll change the glitter background. I'll turn the gold back on for that glitter. And there we have it. Now we have our alternate design, and I'm going to change the color back too. So instead of the blue now, we have that teal color. This was more like the rose gold, like what they're wearing. And for this one, I'm seeing like a little, I think this is where that blue was. You see where that blue was? It's looking a little muddy right there. I bet that's blue. So let me go to my Hue Saturation. Instead of master, I'm going to go to my blues. And see that? When I take it all the way down, it doesn't look nasty anymore. Like, I just didn't like the brownish color it was making there. Alright, so that will be our rose feature. So let's export that one. And you can see, like, basically you can get into changing out these and just, you know, tweaking things just a little bit until you have 40 different examples of the same design. And that's usually what I end up doing. All right, so let's go ahead and save this one. And I usually like to have 2 different examples so I can show people. I like to give you examples of how you can change something, not just, you know, this is exactly how it has to look. No, change the colors, change the orientation, change the text, all of that good stuff. So that's done. That will be something that I should be able to post up tonight. Let me Control S, let me save. Alright, so I clearly see different comments. There's literally 2 videos going on right now, and it has split y'all up. So I see comments in both of these videos right now. This is so crazy. Okay, so let me see if I can follow both. E, thank you for telling me that you can see and hear me on this too. Yeah, I'm telling you, YouTube did some kind of funky stuff tonight. Maybe we need to play the lottery or something, because it's some kind. I've never seen this happen before. It's a weird occurrence where it's showing 2 different live sessions and they're playing the exact same thing. All right, so Miss Diva asked, how do we get this template? It's going to be on Innate Lab. So I'll type that up, innatelab.com. And we have a template sale going on right now where normally our Photoshop templates are $20 each. I'm going to extend the sale until tomorrow so I can include these new templates. And they will be $9.99 until the sale is over with, and then they'll go back up to $20 a piece. So this is how you get this one in particular, and then we did a few other new ones that we'll be posting as well. So somebody asked, is Photoshop $20 a month? No, Photoshop is $9.99 a month, and I do have a video showing you. Please watch that video. As a matter of fact, let's see if I can show you. $9.99. I'm just going to search my videos. How to install Photoshop. $9.99. It's $9.99 a month. And then they also have a free trial. So if you've never downloaded Photoshop before, it'll give you, I think, a 7 or 14 day free trial. So I would definitely suggest that you try it out. And the other thing is, if you go to the Innate Creatives group and you type in the word buddy, I encourage people, if you're only going to use one Photoshop seat, then you get 2 Photoshop seats with your $9.99 subscription. Then just make the email and make the password something like that you don't use for anything else, nothing remotely like your password for anything else, and share that seat with a person that can Cash App you or PayPal you $5 a month, and then basically you're paying $5 a month for Photoshop. So that's my suggestion. And if you go to the Innate Creatives group and look at these little keywords over here. This is where you put your questions for Innate Academy, for those of you who are asking questions. This is where you see the buddy. So you hit buddy, and you'll see I made a link just for you all to comment under. It has 66 comments right now. So you can comment need or have, and if you find 2 needs, then that's technically a have. Then one of you figure out, you know, who's going to do the subscription. If you see a have that's new, So let's say we see these new comments. I think the last post I saw was around 3 weeks ago. This is y'all's place to kind of network. Now we don't keep up with this. Some people want to buy. Let's say somebody saying here you can buy the CS6 version, and I honestly I don't suggest that for these templates. I have the CS6 version, and I don't believe it was 75. Let me see. I can show y'all what was, if you absolutely have to do this, and I'm just telling you that usually you're going to want the updated version of Photoshop to do a lot of these effects and things that we're working on, because you're dealing with smart objects and all of these different drop shadows and all this crazy stuff that I do. That's my suggestion. However, what is the name of this website? Oh, I'm trying to think. It starts with a B. Let me just look up Photoshop. CS6. And it was Bonanza. And people were selling the subscriptions to CS6. And it was supposed to be like their versions of CS6. But I bought it like this before. Now, this was some time ago. I don't know if they're still doing this. Let's see. Oh, they might have got onto them because they look like they're not selling it anymore. But they used to sell the old versions of CS6. And I've gotten it for as little as like $30, $40 before. But when I needed to do, like upload things or download projects that had some of the advanced techniques, like the pattern fills and how I do multiple strokes and all of that type of stuff, it just wouldn't translate the same. And it ended up being the same as like me trying to pull a Photoshop file into Affinity. It's just some things would turn out great and some things I would have to work extra hard to correct in that older version. Victoria, watch that video that I have for the $9.99. I tell you why it's telling you $20. It's not $20. It's just the specific one that they're displaying to you is showing $20. If you get the one that doesn't come with that extra cloud storage space, it's $9.99 a month. So I would definitely encourage, either way, I would encourage you to buddy up and spend, half of that. All right, so that's that question. Let me check. I'm trying to scroll and see if y'all have any other questions. If you go to Photoshop, Victoria, you've already done the free trial. So if you go to buy now, you see how it says the photography with the 20 gigabytes is $9.99 a month. That's the one that you want to buy. Not this one. This one is the same exact thing, but it just charges you an extra $10 a month to have there. And it's a very small cloud storage. It's not even worth it. All right, so let me check the other one, see if I have messages on this one. Somebody said I must not be in the right live because that came up before you spoke about it. Yeah, I don't know. This thing is running two different lives right now. And as I'm actually watching both of them, and they are both showing the same thing. One might have a little more of a delay than the other one, but it's both of them working. Okay. So y'all have any more questions about this particular template that you want to see? Because I'm going to go ahead and save this, and I think I have enough energy tonight to upload the templates that we already did the videos for. So I will upload those. Don't y'all stay up though, because I'm going to keep the sale going until tomorrow. So y'all don't have to stay up waiting for the templates to drop. I'm going to go ahead. I'll honor what I said. If I didn't have them uploaded by tonight, I'll extend the sale. Okay. All right, love. So I'm going to see where this live, hopefully this live is really recorded because it's showing in 2 different places. But this will be saved for you to access later. Once you have the template, once you purchase the template, you have it in hand and you want to edit it, then you'll be able to come back to this video and it'll show you exactly the steps to do that. So Tamika Brewer and who else submitted? Lakeith Maxwell. Those were the images that I used for this template. So you both get the template for free. And if you're interested in how to get these free templates, then whenever I say, hey, I'm making a template, this is my layout, I'm looking for models for it, or, you know, photos, especially if you want to do like a remembrance shirt, or maybe you want to do something special like this, you can submit the photos underneath that listing. And if I pick your photo, then you get the template for free. So basically you get to be a model for the Innate Lab template, and you also get the template to show off and work on it. All right, so I'm surprised the 11 of y'all are still here right now. It says 15, so I guess between the 2 views is 15. But I want to go ahead and tell y'all thank you again. I know I've been saying it all day, but I've been pushing all day for y'all. Go to Victoria, go to Innate Creatives on Facebook. It's a group, Innate Creatives. That's our Facebook group. And once you scroll down to, it's not the comments, I guess it will be the comments for the video, not the live chat. I posted the link for the Facebook group. I posted the link for the website where you can purchase the files. So you'll purchase the files on the website. And then I also posted a link for the Academy, which is where you take the classes and where you sign up for the subscription. The Academy website is a different brain, a different website host from the main website where you purchase. Okay, so the Academy is a school, it's off to its own, and then the Innate Lab website is where you purchase your inks. Y'all check out the True Color Sublimation ink. I don't think you'll be disappointed at all. I think you're going to find that those blacks are really black, those blues are really blues, and the reds truly look red. It's been my mission to find this, you know, type of quality and consistency in printing for a long time. So I have the ink available, as well as the some different substrates such as masks, graduation stoles. We have some socks that I'm posting soon. I want to demo them for you first. So I definitely want you all to keep an eye out for those items. Print head cleaner. Some of you were talking about banding. Check out the print head cleaner. It's a really gentle cleaner. If you don't have really horrible clogs, as in like your printer just stopped printing magenta for the last 6 months, and it may even work for that. I have some printers that I'm going to test out that have been clogged up for years, and I'm going to try the cleaner on them, and I'm going to let y'all know how it goes. So yeah, you have your ink there, you have the empty cartridges. I always suggest you have an extra set of cartridges on deck. You never know. And then of course, we have some of the blank masks and those sort of things. These are the ones that, excuse me, you can get for as low as 75 cents a piece, which is very inexpensive. If you're doing like 5 different masks for the kids and for employees that are going into work, just giving them something that they have 5 different versions of. And most of the time, they're only requiring people to wear masks whenever they're walking by other people. And then once they're at their particular station or desk, they can take the mask off and resume regular work. Okay, Victoria, I don't know what to tell you why you can't get the $9.99, but that's not showing up for you. I think you may need to expand the different plans and options here, because I don't think I can. I'll copy this link. This is buy now, and I'll paste it. See if that works for you. And I won't close the live out. See if Victoria, see if you can click on that link and if that works for you. I don't know. I think it didn't copy the entire link because it's a long link. But you're looking for the one that has Lightroom and Photoshop. The one that just has Photoshop by itself is going to show $20.99. The one with Lightroom It's going to show $9.99, and it's going to have 20 gigabytes on it like that. All right, loves. Well, I don't see any new questions there, so I'm going to do my best to go ahead and get these things uploaded tonight. And y'all have any questions, make sure you ask them in the Innate Creatives Facebook group, so that hopefully Erica and some of the other group members can get to you. Sometimes I'm really tied up and I'm unable to really get to answering those questions quickly. Excuse me. And this is why we have created this community, so that we can all chime in and help one another. I have some people that are helping now that didn't know a lick about Photoshop maybe 2 months ago, and they're chiming in and they're helping people now. So this is definitely a growing community. We're all learning and growing together. So don't think that anything is too silly to ask, and definitely make sure that you post to the Innate Creatives group rather than inboxing, because my inbox is pretty much full, and I try to tackle a few messages at a time, and some of the other ways of communicating just get a little overwhelming. So if we keep it to the Innate Creatives group, we can make sure that everyone sees the answer to the question and the problem that you have. All right, and Victoria, if you're having issues, post in the Innate Creatives group that you're looking for the $9.99 one, and maybe the link I can copy and paste the link there, and it would do better, because YouTube is definitely not completing that entire link. All right. So it was wonderful having you all. I appreciate your patience with my my double streams and it giving us some complications tonight. But I definitely appreciate all your attention and the love that you've been showing this whole time. And to my newbies, welcome. And I cannot wait until I get to see some of your creations. I know they're going to be beautiful, wonderful, and I know you're going to be excited about the opportunities that you're going to have with your local business and online business by utilizing these tools. All right, so until next time, I love y'all for real, and bye.